Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Nine Hole Podcast with David and Ian. David, how you doing, brother?
Hi, Ian. Doing
Hey,
well.
dude. Hey, dude. I love that. What's going on with you, man? You got any big plans for the weekend? You doing anything fun other than the pool?
No, yeah, nothing really. I got to mow the lawn.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I love
grown up
that.
stuff, and then crazy work week next week.
Traveling?
Yeah, I got to go to
Where you going?
Oklahoma City for like some training, and then Austin, Texas for a mid-year meeting. Staying in some
Ooh,
fancy hotel and dinners and God knows what.
okay. Awesome, dude. Well, man, we got a couple things. I guess we could be hitting on. Wanted to talk a little bit about um, you know, kids coming into college their freshman year playing baseball, trying to have to, they're going to have to earn a spot. There's really no time to waste, especially if you're not like a full scholarship type player or any type of scholarship. We got a little Tim Anderson, Jose Ramirez on the schedule here.
Yeah,
If we want to touch on it, obviously, the big news past couple weeks, I guess, is that Ohtani is staying with the Angels for the remainder of the year. It looks like obviously Artie Moreno did not deal him before the deadline, so they're committing to staying with him. And then talk a little bit about tryouts being good for your kid. We can kind of tie that into the college freshman kind of coming in there, or we could even start with it. Fuck it, let's start with it. What do you think?
yeah, that works.
Um, dude, so with tryouts, dude, with showcases, high pressure situations. What's your take on it? What do you think it can do for a kid, making them kind of grow up quick? What do you think it can do dealing with failure? Um, I mean, what is it? What was your experience like the first like showcase or tryout you did? Did you do well, and do you think it built you up? It got you prepared maybe a little bit for the next level
Yeah,
or failure anywhere.
I think the 10, 12, 13, 14, whatever, how old they are, kids that do well at those, just that's like a natural ability that they just have like innately. Because for me at that age, I was nervous. I was
Oh,
scared. I didn't do well at those things at all.
thinking about
Um,
myself at 12 or 13, man.
yeah. So the kids that do well at that, like that's not necessarily like a learned behavior. I don't think. I think they're just naturally confident in their skill set or their mental game from an early age, and that's something you really can't teach. But the kids that don't have that, like just inherently, they will learn that through these type of situations. I think a little bit's up to the parents because I guarantee a lot of those kids go to these things and they're like, "Dad, I don't want to play baseball anymore. Like I was embarrassed. There's so many kids that are better than me, whatever." But it's up to those parents to be like, "Hey, that's part of it, man. You learn from it. You get back up on that saddle or whatever cliche analogy you want to use, and you keep on rolling because it is going to help you in all aspects of life, um, especially if you fail or don't do well at them.
Yeah, dude.
You know,
Especially at a young age, right? On that stage, you're not. Think about if you're 12 to 15 years old and you're going to these showcases or these tryouts or camps or whatever, and you have like a bad outing. I mean, being able to like take a positive from that, maybe grow from it. I'm sure the next time that a kid is going to go out there for another workout, another showcase, I mean, he's probably going to be 1% better. Maybe he's able to like go back to
yeah.
the drawing board and fix whatever he might have struggled at his first showcase or tryout, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's silly, but you only know what you know, and at that age, you know really nothing. You haven't
Yeah,
had like adversity is good for kids. Like in my lessons, and I talk about that. I'm like, dude, like I know you've probably been through some things in your life now, but like you never had to worry about keeping your heat on or where your next meal was going to come from, or you're going to make your car payment this month, or so and so loved one's got cancer or whatever. But these kids, a little adversity or getting their ass kicked a little bit will be good for them.
not having a good
Um,
outing. Yeah,
yeah, they
good
have to.
performance.
Yeah, and then like you said, like they'll grow from that. And if they have a bad showcase or good, bad, and different, like they're going to be more prepared for it going into the next one.
100%, dude. I forget what quote it was. Like calm seas never made a skilled sailor. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
seriously,
I think who said Buddha said that,
maybe.
or the Pope or something like that. So I mean, that's legit. You know what I mean?
I
Obviously,
don't even know
with
if I believe any quote I see anymore because it's like
Yeah,
So
yeah.
and so said
So
this, and I'm like, Henry Ford said that.
obviously, with adversity, you're going to grow. That's how you
Yeah.
kind of like build. Having positive showcases and like tryouts and stuff over and over and over again. Uh, obviously, you're going to get better with the reps, but man,
When I was
it's
in sixth grade, this is a quick story, but when I was in sixth grade, I wanted to wrestle. Okay. I got really into wrestling. I was kind of good for my area, but I refused to wear a singlet.
a
And I was just,
leotard.
yeah, like those things wrestlers wear, you know?
Yeah,
And
Leo
so I wore like shorts and a t-shirt. And I went to my first duel. I think that's what it's called. And
match.
I sat next to the kid I was going to wrestle. Um, I don't know, normal looking kid, whatever. And I was like, he didn't speak very good English actually, but I was like, hey man, you ever wrestled before? And he was like, no. I was like, okay, cool. And we went out there. Dude, I did not move. I did not, like, I couldn't even do anything. I was in like a pretzel the entire time.
He had you folded up.
Yeah, come to
I
find
love
out, that kid
that.
was like a multi-state champ or something. And
He lied to
I
you.
almost broke the door off the hinges leaving. And I was like 11 or something because I was so pissed off and I was running around outside, like clenching my fists, and I didn't know how to control that emotion. Long story short, probably not the best ending to this, but I never wrestled again. But I learned that I never wanted to feel that way again. So
So you
going
took
from
something
that,
positive out of
yeah,
that.
going from that,
Oh,
I
that's
was like, I'm
strong.
not going to be embarrassed like that. I mean, all these people are watching me, and it ended up not being my sport, but I learned a lot from that failure.
That makes sense, dude. I like that. I like
I
that.
hated
Maybe
it.
going outside of your comfort zone there, you
Yeah,
know, getting
and I mean, it was
getting
I
your
was
ass kicked a
humbling,
little bit.
and the older I get, I realize I don't, you don't know as much as you thought, and you can learn something from the most random things.
I love it. I love it,
But a
dude.
young kid doesn't know that.
No, absolutely not. So with each rep you take, every time you kind of get your butt whooped, man. You build a little bit, you grow a little bit.
Yeah,
Kind of segueing into a little bit of the incoming college freshman, right? So let's say a high school senior graduates. He wants to play baseball at the next level. He might not have any offers or interest. Maybe he decides to walk on, or he's got a partial scholarship, whatever it is. um, what advice are you telling incoming college freshmen that are trying to make a team, trying to maybe solidify a spot in the lineup, or they're coming in there trying to be a starter, like whatever it is? What are you giving an incoming college freshman in regard to like what to prepare for, what to look out for, like maybe something that they're not thinking about?
yeah. So again, I can only speak on what I know, and I was in college, 12 years ago or something. But I went to a junior college first, and they have different rules on how much you can practice, and no one really abides by those anyways, whether you're D1, D2, whatever. But for me, I was not mentally, physically, emotionally prepared for how hard I was about to work. I thought I was a hard worker. Um, I thought I knew what pain was. I mean, that sounds silly, but my first 2 weeks, not kidding, like actual, like 14 days of junior college was running until you puked. And they wanted to weed out the kids that didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
My advice is, if you think you love baseball, when you get to college, it depends on the program, but you're going to find out very quick how deep that love goes. Because if you're working towards something and you might not even pick up a baseball your first week, it might just be conditioning, who's in shape, who's not. You're going to start questioning, why am I here? I thought I came here to play baseball. We're treading water in the swimming pool at 6 a.m. in the morning. Like, what is this doing for me? I got to go to class at 8 a.m. in biology
Yeah,
and
dude.
sleep through it. That's
So
another,
classes,
yeah.
classes,
What's your opinion on that? Because these kids don't realize that they're going to be practicing hard weights, swimming, whatever, and then they go
and
to
that's
class
only
and
half
get
the
good grades.
job, dude. That's
Yeah.
only half the job. Yeah, and the classes are way harder, a little bit more intense than high school. Dude, I think what advice I would give to an incoming college freshman is, obviously, man, we've touched on this before. It might sound even a little bit redundant, but like what you put into it is what you're going to get out of it, right?
Yeah.
So if you're able to kind of like differentiate your priorities if you're able to say like, hey, I will get up early and I'll do these workouts, and then I'll make sure I before that even happens, I'll make sure I go to bed at a decent time the night before, get my sleep, wake up at a decent time, get good breakfast in, right? Morning routine, whatever it is, you know, I get there and I'm all in for as long as practice takes or the workout takes, as long as that takes. I think
You're
if
there. Yeah.
an incoming college freshman can also have that mentality with the other things that he's going to have to juggle, at least in regard to playing baseball. I mean, it's going to take a lot of sacrifice, dude. But like I said, what you put into it, you're going to get out of it. There's going to be a lot of demands, dude. There's going to be a lot of distractions. Think about
Ton.
you're coming in from whatever fucking town you're from,
Yeah.
whatever small town you're from, and you come out here. I'm guessing it's maybe it's out of state, maybe it's out of your town. You don't know anybody here, so it's like, dude, there's a whole crop of people, whole new crop of girls, right? There's going to be distractions everywhere, distractions everywhere. Like being able to kind of just like put the blinders on, dude. I
Well, that's
think
what I was
that would,
guess. I would really. I don't think warn is the right word, but be careful of your freedom. Like you're away from mommy and daddy for the first
ooh,
time. You're away from whoever was raising you. Maybe you have some money saved up, or you have a cafeteria. We call it the caf, where you can go eat kind of whatever you need to, and you have a dorm or an apartment or whatever set up for you at that
yeah.
time.
But you're living on your own and you're free
Yeah,
and you're
it could
away.
be midnight, and you go, "Hey, I want some Taco Bell." You can go get some Taco Bell. You don't have to say, you don't have to sneak out, and your
Yep.
dad's going, "Where are you going?"
Hey,
Hey, get back here.
back here.
No, it's completely on you. There's going to be parties. There's going to be a baseball house. There's going to be a football house. Like I would just be careful of that freedom. Like to touch on what you just said, like you're there to do a job, and maybe school comes first, maybe athletics come first, whatever that is. But you still have multiple facets of that,
Yeah.
and you gotta get it done. There's time to play and stuff, but that's what really scared me a little bit when I first got to college. I was like, no one's telling me, like no parent. I have no parental figure here telling me what to do.
Yeah. You had your own like situation, your own well being in your own hands, right?
Yeah, and I was
Like it's
18. I didn't know
ooh,
anything.
shit, where do I go? Where do I go to class? When do I go to class? Do I even feel like going to class? Like, dude,
Yeah,
you are in control of what you got going on. So that's crazy, right? That's a lot of
and if you don't go to
responsibility.
class, you will get caught, and the team will run for you. That happened to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. So I've had the team run my freshman year. My
Actually, there
freshman
was
year,
a there
the
was
team
one
had to run.
class that didn't have a window on the door, so the coaches couldn't look in, and I never went to that class.
Ooh.
I did not get good grades in
Which
college.
class was that?
I think it was Spanish, actually.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
That's interesting. That's interesting.
I was
Um,
dumb.
that's all good. Whatever. So these incoming college freshmen, they're coming in here. If they're able to kind of have an idea, like, hey, my schedule's going to be nuts. There's going to be multiple things that I'm going to have to juggle and take serious in order to like be able to even perform on the field. Right? You got to be eligible. You got to at least pass.
Yeah,
Um, what are you telling these players, these kids, about like the competition, about the people they're going up against, about like trying to earn a roster spot? Like some of these, look, you're coming out of high school and you're now thrust into either Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, JUCO, whatever it is. These are some grown ass men
yeah.
that are bigger and stronger than you, probably, unless you're a freak. Uh,
Transfers from other
yes, dude.
schools.
And there's gonna be crowded spots. Every position's you're gonna be fighting for it. What do you tell like what would you tell somebody, at least in regard to like the physicality of it, what to prepare for, the level of competition? I don't know. What would you
Which is
say?
crazy. I mean, I think we can give them all the advice we can, but they won't be prepared. Like I'm from a really small town. One of the best baseball players in the area at the time. I got to junior college, which is just junior. I mean, we were top 5 in the nation or something, but everyone there was the best player from their high school.
Yeah,
Everyone, everyone threw as hard as me. The shortstops could pick it better than anyone I've ever seen. they were doing opposite, hitting opposite line drives and attacking balls. And the practice that you're about to do is disciplined and choreographed. And you're not just going out and jogging a couple, playing catch, and then hitting BP like high school. This is like 27 outs. And all right, we got a runner on third
Oh,
base, one down, uh, figured out, and they hit the ball. And
yes.
if you mess up, my coach would just be like, "Run!" Like,
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
drop your
Everybody's gonna
shit.
run for you.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's happened to me multiple times, dude. Like, you fuck up at practice or something like that, and to make the stakes a little bit higher, everybody's gonna run for you if you mess up.
yeah.
Like, think about that, dude. That's pressure there.
And they'll fill
Um,
pillowcases full of soap and beat you while you sleep.
that didn't happen to me. That didn't
that's,
happen to me, dude.
that's from a movie,
Oh,
Full Metal
that's
Jacket.
oh, I was gonna say Step Brothers.
But they do. He does quote that in that movie.
Yeah, fill bars of soap and beat you within your sleep or
Yeah,
something.
but no, seriously, like that kids can prepare, and maybe if they come from like a good, maybe not the best high school program, but maybe a good like facility, local area where they had guys that done it before, and they're telling them, and they're in their ear. Sure, that will help, but you're gonna find out very quickly. Like I said, if you even want to do this, if that's something you want to do,
Yeah, you'll get weeded out, dude.
yeah. There's
Or
guys dropping like flies my first week.
yeah, we always had more. We always had more. People at the start of it, right? Whenever the first practice was, the first camp was, in the fall. There's always people that are walking on or that think,
Yeah, I could do this. I was
I can
good.
do this shit. And then it's like, okay, well, you know, first week you're waking up at 6:30, 7 to condition, and it's like, dude, I'm 18, 17, 18, 19 years old. I've never waken up at 7 before.
No,
Why would or just
and then you still
you
got to
had
go
your
to
own
class.
bedtime. Yeah, you had to. So you're not getting adequate sleep. I'm like, dude, what? I'm waking up at 7 to go run. I went to bed at 3.
Yeah,
You
so you got to
know?
manage it. I mean, we were as a pitcher, we had a old school coach, played in the minor leagues. I think he got to Double A. Craig Frydendahl, actually, good
Oh,
dude. But he
front
implemented
dog.
a swimming program for us, and I'm not kidding. At like 6 a.m., we were in the pool. So we're getting up at 5, getting to the pool, and we were treading water. Our first 30 minutes of the swim was treading water.
Damn, that's Navy SEAL training,
Yeah, have you
dude.
ever tried to tread water for 30 minutes straight?
No, I don't think I could. There's a pool where I work out, and I've always said I wanted to go in there and do like some laps and shit, and I never do it. I always
Yeah, it
chicken out.
sucked. And then after we tread water, we dove into the pool, swam to the end, got out, pulled ourselves up, and went around. We were like 14 pitchers, skinny little 18-year-old kids swimming laps in the pool, but walking, snot coming out of our nose and like disoriented. And
Peeing in the pool and
I was
stuff.
like, what am I doing? Like, I didn't really know any better, but and yeah,
Damn, that
but
didn't
like
happen.
the camaraderie you'll get and how much you'll bond with these guys, that's something else these kids aren't prepared for. You're
Ooh,
gonna
that's a
you're
good
gonna want
one.
to in the minor leagues is different. And I became closer with my minor league teammates than I did my college. But at the time,
Same.
like I would have taken a bullet for all those guys because they went through the shit with me. I'm puking while I'm running. So is that guy. Or if he's not, he's putting his arm around me, lifting me up. We did these things called "Fuck You Fridays." It was like 6 a.m. on the football field, and there was like 30 stations. Okay, 30 stations by cones.
So yeah,
And I mean, mountain climbers, ski jumps, all this stuff. But if someone was lacking, if they blew one whistle, you got to go to the next station. If they blew it twice, you had to go back and do the same thing. So some of these dudes would get stuck on like the worst of the circuit, and we'd be yelling at them like, "Figure it out, go hard!"
I'd probably crack under that pressure. Let me.
Oh, dude, it sucked, but it prepares you. Like when I got to pro ball and life now, you go through something hard or something physical, and I'm like, this is nothing. You'll have that the rest of your life.
I
You
get
can
it,
get
dude.
through it.
I get it. So there's obviously a whole bunch of stuff that like maybe some of these kids aren't ready for. I mean, it's
Yeah.
dude. I'm thinking back to like when we would mess up, when I would mess up, or when anybody would like screw up away from the team, we would have something called 4:30s, and so we would have a 4:30. We would have to wake up an adequate time to get there by 4:30. And dude, at 4:30, we would be doing the most insane type of like punishment workout you could be thinking about. Like dude, I remember what I
What?
remember, dude. So it was in the fall. It was after homecoming. So it was still cold out. There were leaves everywhere in the parking lot of the football stadium.
Paint
Somebody
that
somebody
picture.
fucked up. Somebody fucked up over homecoming. Right? Homecoming is just where you just drink and figure
Yeah.
out who you are. Uh, Dude, somebody messed up over homecoming, so we had to show up at the football parking lot, after the homecoming game. So everybody's tailgating in that parking lot. There's a bunch of like glass and stuff, broken beer bottles, dude. So whatever. We had to show up and fucking barrel roll on the ground, through this parking lot with glass and leaves.
Puke, piss.
Puke, dude. So people started throwing up, and that was my first ever like punishment or run or anything where I was like, "Yo, dude, do I really want to get to the MLB?
Yeah.
Like, dude, do I really want this?" So
I
it's
I
oh
always question that though, like when you're doing stuff like that, like, is that necessary? You know? I'd always do that. Like we'd get dropped off on the field and they'd be like, find your way home. And we have to run home. And I'd be like, what are we doing? Is this gonna make me throw harder? Is this gonna make me throw strikes? Like
just a
so like
character
I
building
think
thing,
that's a
I guess.
little you can question that a little bit. But yeah, you can if you keep your perspective and go, hey, I'm gonna show you how bad I want it, then
Yeah,
you can spin it. But
yeah. So, all right. Something. Speaking of spinning it, that Jose Ramirez and Tim Anderson fight, dude. Tim Anderson got slept.
he was spinning.
Obviously, yeah, yeah, yeah. He spun it right into his jaw, dude. What do you got on that, dude? So I read. I think Jose Ramirez's suspension just got uh,
Lowered.
lowered a little bit. I think it's 2 games or something like that. I think Tim Anderson had 6 or something. Dude, what was your take on that? Were you able to watch it live in
I didn't
Arizona?
I didn't see it live. We were together, right?
That's right.
I think you showed me like immediately because you got like a buzz on your Twitter
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
machine, whatever,
What
or
was your
X.
take on that, dude?
Um, I don't. I think I thought it was like a little. I feel like in the '80s or '90s, like that was like a normal tag, and he tagged him kind of hard, I guess. But then Jose Ramirez after the game said that Tim Anderson tagged him pretty hard, popped him, and said, "I want to fight you."
He said that.
Apparently, that's what Jose
I didn't
Ramirez
see
said.
that.
Yeah, he said, "Boom!" Tagged him. He said, "I want to fight you," and he jumped up, and then like that video showed me, Tim Anderson squares up like southpaw,
Yeah, he was ready for him. Yeah, it
but
was southpaw,
he's
weirdo.
left-handed. He's right-handed.
He's
Why is he?
right-handed.
Yeah,
See ya.
yeah. So that was
See
really
ya.
dumb. And then Jose Ramirez, I think, was like, "What is going on?" and was just like
Put his
defending
head down and
himself.
just fucking throw it.
Yeah, and got connected with one, and it just right on the button. And Tim Anderson looked like an idiot. I'm sorry, but
He had those wobbly Jello legs walking off the field too.
yeah, and he was like still trying to fight. And at that point, it was like trying to save face and hey, man, I'm still tough. Like I'll still do it, but hold me back a little bit.
Yeah, dude.
I don't
So
know.
I think it was the stuff I've been reading. Uh, Not that it's common knowledge, but or a common opinion, but there are some feelings towards him throughout the league where it's like, hey, maybe he's disrespecting the game, or maybe he's a little too showy. I guess frustrations between these guys were happening for a little while. It's not like this was just a 1 game thing.
Yeah, I didn't know
So
that. And I
yeah,
didn't. I always thought. I mean, Tim Anderson was on Team USA and competing against Japan in the World Baseball Classic, and I didn't know he was like a bad teammate. But then now all the stuff has come out about he is. But it sure
yeah,
seemed like. I mean, that brawl was pretty intense after he got knocked out. I mean, that lasted a while.
they were still going.
Yeah, it seemed like people had his back. But then I hear everyone
Yeah,
hates him too.
yeah. I mean, I've heard a little bit
Or is
about
that one of
that.
those things? It's like, hey, it's my teammate. I got to do what I got to do.
You gotta have their back right now, but yeah, I don't know. There's been some things said about I think Ozzie Guillen came out and said something about the leadership over there. It's just I don't know what the vibe is over there, but it sounds like there's there's some stuff happening in the locker room, maybe behind the scenes that
Well, how
you know.
about his like cryptic tweets? He'd tweet out like 20
Dude,
different.
so I saw some stuff like that. Dude, that really happened.
Yeah,
So
it's guys. That
I
was
don't
him.
know if I don't know. I don't think he addressed it. I don't think he talked to the media after the game or like the next day, right? I think Jose Ramirez was in the lineup the next day. I think Tim Anderson wasn't,
Yeah.
and then he was when he started appealing it. It's like you're not going to address the media and like talk about some shit, but you're going to do these weird tweets, dude. What are you doing?
I don't know if he was drinking that night or feeling sorry for himself or what, but he was saying some weird stuff.
Yeah,
But I mean,
yeah,
put yourself in his shoes. Bad teammate, good teammate, whatever. You get knocked out on live TV. You're the face of a franchise. You kind of start it. And you look like a fucking idiot. How embarrassed would you be?
yeah. I'd be pretty embarrassed
That'd
too.
be. I mean, I would. If I messed up that bad, I would almost want to hold like a press conference and be like, "Hey, I was
Address
in
it
the
right
wrong.
there. Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
I got rocked. I learned from my mistakes, and holy cow, Jose, nice shot, man.
Nice
But
derecha. Nice right. That's
yeah, if he just like
Derechas,
buries
right?
this, tries to like hide it, like that's not. It's never going away.
Yeah, that dude. I mean, that's going to be out on the internet forever,
Yeah, I mean,
right?
there'd be memes, and every time he comes up to bat, they're gonna be like, "Get knocked
Punch,
out."
punch, drunk love. They're all
Yeah,
going to say in the stands and stuff, dude. So with Adam Sandler.
yeah.
So yeah, dude. I get it. I get it. Yeah, that sucks. That
No,
sucks. But
I would hate to be in his shoes right now, but maybe it's kind of sounds like he deserved it. But I don't know him. Never met him. Never had him as a teammate. I mean, I've had some really bad teammates before. Sometimes I kind of wish I got knocked out,
but
but
like to the point where you wouldn't have their backs in fights.
no,
Those kind of
if they were
teammates.
wearing my same uniform, I had their back.
Yeah, yeah. You gotta honor it.
I mean, I might want them to get like hit once or twice, but then I'd jump in just to like look in the mirror and remind themselves, like,
Yeah.
oh shit,
Oh yeah.
I got stuck.
Dude. So I think one of the last times we spoke, uh, Ohtani was rumored to be maybe getting traded at the deadline. Now, obviously, he stayed, and it doesn't look good for him. It doesn't look good for him. I was reading something that Mike Trout, I guess, is kind of on his way back, uh, rehabbing, coming back. Um, Dude, looking at the Angels' record, kind of where they're at, would you have, if you could go back in time, and you're already Moreno, you selling Otani? You think that's the right move? Would you have tried to sell or get rid of or move Otani at the deadline at least to start building for the future? Or do you think that was a good play by the GM in keeping Otani and saying like, hey, this is our guy, we're fucking going for it?
Yeah, I mean, if I was at GM, it's hard because you want to do what's best for Otani or the organization. What's best for Otani is to go to a contending team and go win a World Series. But you have the best baseball player of all time on your roster
100%.
for the foreseeable future. I'm sorry, but I'm not giving him up.
Yeah.
There's no way I could. And if Trout comes back, that's number 1 and 2, like maybe of all time.
Yes. You just gotta go for it. You gotta honor it.
Yeah. And I mean, they could get 6 players, 2 huge prospects or something, minor league guys coming up, maybe some, you know, big time big leaguer or something for him. But that would probably go down as like the worst trade in history because Otani would keep going and doing Otani things
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
be on the Yankees or the Dodgers or maybe
Especially,
the
dude,
Braves right now.
if there's a chance you can retain him moving
Yeah.
forward long term, right? I guess you gotta roll the die.
And Otani seems like a pretty humble, quiet, does things by the book. Maybe he didn't want to leave. Maybe he was like, I'm comfortable here. I want to win, sure, but he doesn't speak English. I mean, he's got his translator. But wait, I don't know. I mean, if he wants to go down, he already is. Like, there's no one ever going to compete with him. There's no chance. People compare him to Babe Ruth. Have you heard that comparison?
Yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah.
Have you ever watched Babe Ruth's workout videos?
No, but I've seen him taking BP.
Babe Ruth?
Yeah, I've
How?
seen the Babe take BP. Babe P.
But
On
Babe Ruth,
Twitter in black and white.
dude.
And then,
There's like videos of him working out. And he's wearing
no, I haven't seen that.
those things that pull up your socks, whatever. Like the old days in the 30s, it's like a garter for your socks, whatever.
Ooh.
And these tiny little shorts, and he's like drinking beer while he's working out with like a medicine ball. I'm like, I'm sorry, like great player, I'm sure, but don't. That's not Shohei Ohtani.
I bet, yeah, I haven't seen that. I'll have to check that out, dude. Babe Ruth working out.
Yeah, type that
How'd
in.
they get
You could do like Joe Rogan. Jamie, pull it up real quick.
that? Need you.
Yeah,
Need
but
you.
I don't know. As a GM, dude, there's no way. That's a franchise player. You got two of the best players ever. I can't give them up. And
Agreed.
imagine as a fan base for the Angels.
Oh,
That
yeah,
guy would get
dude.
drugged through the streets,
Yeah.
pulled behind a
So,
truck.
dude, they had seven, I guess, seven losing seasons in a row. I mean, yeah, you got to go for it, right? You got to go all in. You got to go all in. Something
They're
like
almost
that, though.
500, 58 and 59. But
Yeah.
the
Time's running out.
Rangers
Time's
and the
running
Astros
out.
are up there.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. That might be tough, but never know.
They are 11 and
Never
a
know,
half
dude.
games behind, and the A's are 36 games behind.
That's
That's bad.
they're probably they don't have a chance. I don't think.
The Rockies are better than the A's, if that tells you
How
anything.
many are they out?
24 and a half.
Stinks, dude. That's a lot. That's a lot to be out. That's a lot to
Yeah,
be out, dude.
not good. And like
No.
I told you, my buddies, I don't know how to ask him about it, but my buddy's a pitcher for the Diamondbacks, and a month ago, they were one of the hottest teams in baseball.
Yeah,
So I haven't looked into it much. I don't know if there was injuries or what, but they're below 500 now.
that's not good. That's not good, dude. It's crazy how like things can change, man. Teams can get hot. Teams can get cold. Like, it can happen quick, bro.
I think that's what I love about baseball. The beauty of baseball is it's a 162 game season. Injuries, Trout's out. He's coming back. He's working hard. That'll be a big boost or whatever. But to be that locked in, especially as a position player, to be an everyday center fielder, everyday shortstop,
Oh,
how are you doing that? How are you hitting 280 with
beats me
a
day after day,
989 fielding percentage or something? I don't know.
facing absolute studs like
And doing it for 10 years. These guys are like Nolan Arenado. I just always use him as an example, but future Hall of Famer. Like they're built different.
yeah, big time mentality. I'm sure like the gap in the mentality is crazy. Preparation, everything, you know.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it because I still wanted to have a life outside of baseball, and I think for those guys, like
It's an
they're like so
obsession.
awkward. You even try to like talk to them. They really don't even know how to talk. They could go talk to the media, answer your questions, but
It's all
like, hey
part of
man,
it.
like I remember, I don't want to say names, but there was a big prospect with the Mariners. I'd be like, hey man, how's it going? He'd be like, oh, it's great. I think the weather's going to hold up for us today, and I think it's going to be a great experience, and we're going, the team's doing well. I'd be
Oh,
like, dude, I'm not Fox News, like Fox Sports. Like you
yeah,
could say, dude, what's up?
yeah. Show a little personality in there.
Yeah,
Anything.
but a lot of those guys don't. Like, oh yeah, weather's looking nice. My swing's feeling great. I've been working hard. We're working in the cage a lot. It's like I didn't even ask you.
Looking forward to a big year.
Yeah, I didn't even ask you about that, man. I said, how are you?
Giving me an interview, dude. I get it, man. I get it, man. But that's dude. That's all I got.
No,
You got anything else you want to throw in there, dude? I think it's pretty good one.
no. I think that was nice. I think the college thing. I wish some college kid that's freaking out, he's going to school or something. Like, I mean, I couldn't do it for everyone, but I wish some kid would call me.
Yeah,
I think that's good advice that we just gave, but there's so much more in there, and everyone's different. There's different personalities, and you might need some alone time, or you might need to just jump in with the crowd and soak everything in. You
yeah,
know,
dude.
don't be afraid to
Amen.
get away from it too, because you won't have any time for yourself ever.
Yeah, be submersed in it all the time.
Read a book.
Ooh, little bookworm.
Yeah.
Little bookworm. All right, dude. Well, thank you. Thanks for making time. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and see you again next week. Domo.